Hi everybody and welcome to my kitchen. There's been a shift in the weather and the days are getting much colder. It looks like summer's on its way out. But fear not, this reminded me of one of my favorite traditional Spanish recipes, something that I love to have when I'm back in Madrid. Today we're going to be making churros con chocolate. Let's look at the ingredients that we're going to need. The full list of ingredients will be in the description below. Alrighty, let's start with making our dough for our churros. All you want to do is get some water and your butter and bring that to the boil. In the meantime, I have some plain flour which I've sifted here, and I'm gonna add in my salt. You can just give that a quick whisk. I'm gonna give this a bit of a hand because I need the butter to melt very quickly. I don't want to lose a lot of water while it evaporates and the butter is still whole. Perfect, we're boiling now, so you just take that off the heat and dump in all of your flour and whisk it together. And that is basically it. If your dough is too stiff, you can add a little bit more water. And my dough is ready, so I'm just gonna let it cool down for a couple of minutes and get my piping pan ready to start piping our churros. Okay, my dough has cooled down now a little bit and I've got everything else prepped. So I've this special tip for piping churros. It's kind of like a star shape and it's nice and large because the dough is gonna be quite thick. I'm just gonna put it into a glass. And this will help me to fill the piping bag, but this dough is like one solid mass, so it can go straight in here. Squeeze it down to the end. And this part is going to require a bit of elbow grease. I actually double bagged mine. The dough is very tough, so I'm a bit worried that the piping bag will be able to hold it. So let's give it a go and see how we get on. Get to the end, you can cut it with the scissors. And that's our first churro. It's a workout and a half. Okay, so these are the shapes that I'm going for. You could also do just like straight logs of churro dough if you want, but these are the ones that I'm accustomed to. Okay, just number 2. So I continue doing that until I run out of dough. I'm clearly not doing this in a very good order. The dough is very stiff. It's fighting me along the way, but we'll get there. I discovered the dough is actually stiff enough that once you piped it, you can pick it up and rearrange it. It's great. I'm probably only gonna get 2 more, but obviously if you wanted to do more, you could batch up your recipe, double it up or triple it up. But I'm getting enough of a workout as it is. I'm sweating. Okay, I finished. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and a half. My dough is stiff enough that I could actually probably pipe it as a big long log and then loop it together if I want to get this shape, because it's quite difficult to make the dough maneuver the way that you want it. But I'm delighted with them. We're ready to go fry. Everything's set up. My oil has just come to temperature, so I'm gonna go in with my first churro. I'll do the small one, the sacrificial one. That's perfect. Just want to make sure that you move it around. You don't want it to stick. And once it starts bubbling away, I can go in with another one. But don't add too many. You want to make sure that your oil temperature doesn't drop too much. Just keep moving these around until they get nice and golden brown on the first side, and then we can flip it. It'll probably take about 4 to 5 minutes. You want to make sure that you keep them moving, especially because my oil probably is a little bit too shallow, but this one looks ready. I'm gonna take it out, throw it into a plate with kitchen roll. This one's looking nice and golden brown too, so I'm gonna take it out. So I'm just gonna go in with my other 3. And again, just keep them moving. And once they come out of the hot oil and you put them into your paper towel, you can hit them with a little bit of sugar on top. Okay, so we're very quickly gonna make our chocolate dipping sauce for our churros. I have some milk here. I'm gonna put into my little jug pot thing, but I wanna reserve some. I'm gonna go in with a cinnamon stick. And I just have a vanilla pot here, which I'm gonna cut in half and throw in there as well. I'm gonna let this come to the boil. In the meantime, with my remaining milk, I'm gonna add in some flour into it and whisk it up together. We're making a bit of a slurry, which we're gonna use to thicken up our sauce later. As soon as your milk boils, turn it off and take it off the heat. And you can Cover it and let the cinnamon and the vanilla infuse. While I wait for my milk to infuse with the cinnamon and vanilla flavors, I have some dark chocolate here. This is 50% and I also have some 70% dark chocolate, which I'm just going to chop up finely or shave it, just like this. We want to get it nice and thin because we want it to melt very quickly. I finished chopping up all of my chocolate, so I'm just gonna take out from the milk the cinnamon stick and the vanilla pods. Okay, and next I can go in with my chocolate, so the dark chocolate or the 70% chocolate, and then slowly my 50% chocolate as well. I think this mix of the 50 and 70% is gonna give me a nice, rich, but not overly dark chocolate. And I'm gonna slowly keep adding the rest of my chocolate. And with the whisk, I'm just gonna melt it in. Okay, and lastly, I'm gonna go in with my slurry. And as I said earlier, this is gonna help to thicken up my chocolate. And I'm gonna put the heat back on, only low to medium heat. What I want is for the flour to become activated and thicken my chocolate. This churros with chocolate is one of my favorite things to do when I'm back in Madrid for maybe Christmas time. It is perfect for the cold days of the winter. And you can have it in the summer for breakfast if you want. I can feel like it's thickening up, but I just wanna test it with a spoon. Maybe could go a little bit longer. Okay, I'm gonna let it go until here. And now is when you have to taste it, which I just did. And I know that for my taste, it needs a little bit of sugar. So you can add this to your own taste. You just keep tasting. It's not so bad, is it? And after that, we are all done. Let me clean up and we can finally try one. All right, we're all set up. There's nothing left to do but to give them a taste. So I'm just gonna take one of my churros and I'm gonna break it in half. I can see how crisp the outside is and the middle is still nice and soft, which is exactly how I want it. I'm gonna dip it in the sauce, as much as little as you want, of course. And I think there's a polite way to do this, so excuse me. They are excellent. Even dipped in the sauce, the churro retains the crispy outside. It is so soft in the middle also. It's delicious. All the flavors come together so beautifully. Such a contrast between the chocolate sauce, the richness and the sweetness versus the saltiness and sweetness of the churro itself. Oh man, these are unreal. That's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Once you have your churros like this, you will not want to have them any other way. If you like this video, make sure you give me a big like and leave me a comment below what you thought of the recipe. And make sure you subscribe so you don't miss my next upcoming videos. If you want to try this recipe and you want to post it on Instagram, be sure you tag me also. I will leave my handle down below. With that, I'll leave you for this video and enjoy. Provecho.